Dudes got scalpels on them. They got all kind of knives and weaponry. I don't know what's going on. Drug me. I went down bigger than Nino Brown. So boom, he hit me. Boop, bop, boop, bop, bop. Islam is a religion where we don't turn the other cheek. So if you have to defend yourself, you defend yourself.
هذا حد العالم هذا طالق هذا راسخ وإلى آخره.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to all the RipRightHD disciples, YouTubers and viewers. Welcome back to a new video on RipRightHD. You already know what time it is. I'm gonna tell you how I started to beef with the Bloods on Rikers Island. It was unfortunate for me at the time because I got dusted quite a few times. So this story is gonna keep going. And as I said, I'm gonna try to get y'all some information on locking out, what I mean about burner, and different things on day room dummies, because we're gonna be jumping back and forth from my my different periods in the bids and what stories I think that's gonna be beneficial. As we said, we don't use this for glorification. We could care less. We use this for educational purposes. So if you take these stories and think you're going to do what I did, you're highly mistaken. Okay? Now, we don't promote violence, but we don't promote cowardice. Islam is a religion where we don't turn the other cheek. So if you have to defend yourself, you defend yourself. But you have to be in the right. So guys, check this out. I'm going to tell you how you're supposed to be moving on the island, and don't make the same mistakes. So if you unfortunately do a crime, or you don't do a crime and get locked up, because I've met people that's been innocent and been incarcerated, how should you move? What should you be saying? Should you be looking past dude's cells while you... Nah, certain things you're just not supposed to be doing. So I'm going to tell you how I made a mistake, and it cost me basically a beatdown. And not knowing it could have got worse, you know what I'm saying? Because now I'm in the adults. So I leave one house. I don't remember why I left the house, but this is C-95. And everybody that knows C-95, it's a dope building. People are throwing up. People are using methadone. People are sipping methadone, bringing it back in their mouth, spitting in the cup, and other people are buying it to drink it to get high. It's crazy in this building. You got transvestites running around the joints with titties, getting injections. This building is off the chain. I'm coming in 19, 20, and I'm seeing all of this stuff go down. So it's definitely traumatizing, whether you believe it or not. I've had PTSD, and I possibly still have it, based upon some of my experiences on Rikers Island and just throughout my life in general. So I'm going to this next house. So I get in. So now I got all my stuff with me in my sheets and blankets. We put our whole belongings into that, and we drag it sometimes on the floor, especially if you have a lot of stuff. So when I get in the house, they like, yo, Miss Rosario, never forget the officer. She like, yo, your cell is right here. Da 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 da. I'm like, cool. I pulls my stuff down to the cell. I grabs the blanket, lifts it up, put it on the bed. At this time, it's like 4 and some change, so it's time to eat. It's time to eat dinner. So I'm like, yo, cool. We was having beef patties. You get 2 beef patties. I'm like, oh, I'm about to crush these beef patties. Now in C-95 at the time, it's no mess hall, so all of the food is coming to the housing unit. So on a block is roughly 30, 32, 33 people. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, because of how many cells is on the block. So the day room is kind of crowded. Now, it's no iron horses where I was at in C-95, or benches, if I could remember. So, there's mad chairs, but when I get there, all of the chairs are folded up. So they had this like little round tables, they was either red or blue tables. So they got the food on the tables, they serving the food. So everybody waiting in line, because I had to drop all my stuff. I'm coming like a little late. So I get in line, boom, 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 I get my tray, my food. So I'm looking, I'm starving, I'm ready to eat. I'm like, man, I gotta get a chair to sit down in so I could get my grub on. So there's no chairs. So I look over, I see a chair with it was like 3 chairs or 2 chairs. And it was like bread. So I walk over. I'm like, oh, yeah, we lit. So I had put my food down. I grabs the chair and pull it off. You know what I'm saying? So as I pull the chair off, I see a skinny Spanish dude. He like, yo, listen, Rip. That's my chair. I'm like, yo, I know I'm about to eat, bro. Don't trip. You got 2. He like, yeah, I know. But that's my chair. So we facing, so now it's throwing me off. Like, that's your chair? Dude, you got 2 chairs. What are you talking about? So I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna just eat real quick. He's like, yo, listen, bro, that's my chair. So now I'm in the house. Dudes got scalpels on them. They got all kind of knives and weaponry. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, yo, dude, you bugging. So I go to turn with the chair in my hand. Before I can even turn, son put a 1-2 𝐁𝐄𝐂𝐌𝐄 on the 𝗥𝗑𝐲. I don't know how many times boy hit me, right? Because I was drunk. He drugged me. I went down bigger than Nino Brown. So boom, he hit me. Boop, pop, boop, pop, pop, pop. I don't know how many times he got me. Slim, skinny. You know what I'm saying? Put the 1-2 on me. So I go down. So I don't know what's going on at this time because I'm all drugged up. I'm blurry, but I see people, I see people over me like, oh, little commotion, boom, 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 boom. Then I kind of came to, boom, got up. My drink leaking. So I grab my shirt, wipe it off. Police grabs him. Miss Rosario grabbed him, put him in between the gate. So I'm like, all right, cool. So she like, yo, you gotta go. You gotta leave. I'm like, why I gotta leave? She like, yo, you gotta go. Get your stuff. I'm like, yo, matter of fact, I'm hungry. Let me eat. So I go walk over, the day room, everybody looking at me crazy, seeing what's the 1-2. I grab my tray. I walk over. I'm about to stand up in the back and eat. Somebody slide me a chair. I sit down. I start eating my beef patties, bro. He in between the A and B gate, whatever. So I finish eating. So I'm getting ready to roll now. So now I got to get up out the day room, go this way, and then go all the way back this way to go to my cell to get my stuff. He's in between the gates this way. So it's either I make this go to get my stuff or I make this turn and get with him. So the gate is open about this much. I'm skinny at the time, so I'm able to get in there. You understand what I'm saying? And 1-2 him. So when I come out, so I come this way, turn. So either I'm gonna go this way to him or that way. When I turn to him. I'm like, yeah, what's up? So I'm trying to get between the gate to get in there so we can rip. You feel what I'm saying? So he on the gate and won't let me come through the gate. He like, yeah. I'm like, yo, back up so I could come through the gate. So all I hear, you know how it sounds when the chairs are sliding? So when I turned, the whole day room stood up. So the boy that was serving the food, I see him holding the spoon for the what we had. I think I forgot the name of that vegetable, string peas or whatever it is, son. And these spoons, bruh, I served food on an island. Yo, these spoons was heavy, man. It was the little cup drain. It was almost like you could pick up soup in it. Some of them had holes in the bottom, so it was actually like a cup on a spoon. You know what I mean? But not that deep. So he holding that. I found out later his name was Ghost. You know what I'm saying? They had another dude in there, big blood dude. Then they had Fabulous, another blood dude. It was a few of them. I didn't know their weight was up or whatever. So when I seen the whole day room jump up, like, yeah, you don't want to do that, boy. I'm like, copy. You know what I'm saying? I had two decisions. Either get through that gate as fast as I could, rumble with him, they come through, dust me something nasty, or pack my stuff and leave. If they tell you that, yo, you ain't no gangster if you don't go all the way out, all of this, let me tell you something. A gangster thinks, you understand what I'm saying? You don't just take 2-3 losses in one day. I already took one. I was out for the count. I can't go ahead and allow a whole house to smash me out and to say, yeah, I did that. Yeah, you're gonna lose. So me being me, and at that time I consider myself a gangster. I don't care what nobody said, but I wasn't stupid. You understand what I'm saying? There's always, you know, if a gangster told you that he got with everybody and at every right time, there's always a place and a time. So I'm gonna tell you that for a quote unquote a gangster too. So when I seen that, I'm like, okay. I start walking. Fabulous and these dudes is in the hallway. I see them. So boom, I walk past them. No trip. I see boy taking off his glasses, putting it in his pocket. I go in my cell. They grip the dude that was out there, pushing him on the next side. I drags my bags and I leaves the crib. Now when I leave the crib, I go to another crib. But this is the kicker. I'm in that crib for quite some time, but I used to go to the visiting floor and used to wait on the dude that knocked me down. His name was 𝗢𝗚𝗏, blood dude, Spanish. I used to be in there with the ice pick waiting on him. He don't even know this to this day. So I was going to try to kill him. You understand what I'm saying? So never seen him ever again after that. But when I was in that new house, this is the twist to the story. And I'm going to let y'all know exactly how I got get back in that. What exactly happened that day and why I was seeing so many people when I was on the floor. So the next one is going to give you the whole explanation on this long saga. Because this is where the can of worms opened. And it was me against the Bloods. It wasn't the Muslims against the Bloods. Because in that building, most of the Muslims, unfortunately, they were on dope. They was doing a whole, it was bad. It was bad. And we didn't have nobody that was official. So I literally was beefing on Rikers Island with the Bloods. Me by myself. And y'all going to see as the next story and the next story pan out, how long it went and how everything unfolded. Stay tuned. Stay rip. 6-pack. Big back.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh